I'm gonna jump to page 17. And under, the GEMT, about middle of the page, GEMT finances, looks like we got a nice large GEMT, 83,000, which is great. But when I turn the page and I go to 18, and about the middle of the page, it looks like we paid out in July 54,000.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Those are the administrative fees and the federal portion we have to pay
We pay administrative fees to whom?
to the GDM.
So they give us 83,000 and we give them back 54,000 in administrative fees.
We are gonna total, we just got 2 more checks in, we're expected to get 203,000. And we're,
Are those administrative fees a percentage of what they've?
Was quite net positive.
On an administrative fee structure. Yeah, I know that there's push going to eliminate that program. Have you heard any more on that? We eliminated? Yes.
it has not been approved yet for this year, 2006 so far. All of these payments are from 2005. I've reached out to them several times over the last 2 to 3 weeks, and I have not come on.
Did we send a letter in support of SDAO in opposition to that?
Here.
Halfway. There was a deadline.
Oh, yeah, I believe chief.
She did do that. Okay. Can the board get a copy of that? Just so, thank you. There's, so everybody knows, this is the program where the department gets reimbursed for, Jim, you can probably help me out on this a little bit.
I'm gonna let you go for it.
Yeah.
For a portion of the unreimbursed medical charges that are not paid by Medicare, Medicaid, federal programs. So get compensated for a portion of that. And it's been rather confusing program, but it seems to be working for us. But I have also heard that it's in jeopardy, which would be a big hit to us. A big hit, couple $100,000 a year. So.
I had a question on the salary. So this is period 1, and so every unit should be what, 113, correct? 112, 113, 13 pay periods, 113. It looks like the salary is already over 1/8 or 1/12. So looks like we're already trending high on paying salary this year. What's
Yeah,
can you
right
explain
now
that?
we are paying for 3 summer firefighters, so that kind of flexed this month.
So they're in the salary. They're not in the seasonal.
They are,
That's down below.
no, they're included in the salary.
Salary. Okay.
And overtime has been,
Well, overtime's a different category. Overtime's not the same category.
yeah, but that would be the.
Salary should be fixed. So
I'm not sure, but the grant that we received, is that reflected, has that been put into the salaries? Or is that still a single line item, which would address,
Yeah, we're spending that grant.
we're spending it, but it's,
Most of that grant that we're seeing in that line item 4001 is the solar. That big number 638.
that's the solar.
Yeah, is that exclusively the solar? Or other grants that are gonna help with salaries?
That, we anticipate that grant money, the 35,000 to come in next year. The monies for the seasonal firefighters for this summer, we got last fiscal year.
So it was a carryover.
All right, I just want to make sure we keep an eye on that number as the year progresses, because that can be a considerable sum if it trends like this.
Sounds great, thank you. Chief,
It'd be nice if the software, I think I've asked before, we put a percentage what we should be in the calendar year to the, month. And I have to do the quick math. Thank you.
Really, I'd make a motion to approve the financial report.
I'll second.
Motion second, roll call vote, please.
Tom Foster,
Yes.
Ray Court,
Yes.
Sean Ellis,
Yes.
Jim Stearns.
Yes.
Craig Brady.
Yes.
Do we have any correspondence?
So I had some correspondence with the Energy Trust of Oregon. I communicated with Jenna and Mike regarding, and yourself, John Ellis, regarding a grant that they're offering in support of C-REP grantees. And what they're asking is, they call it a microgrid, but it doesn't involve exporting any electricity from this area. Our situation, what it involves is reaching out to community partners such as Source, Southern Oregon Communications, or the city, police department, public works, and setting up an MOU of sorts, pre-arranging if they were to be able to use the electricity here for emergency communications. So maybe setting up a bench and access to the building in case of an emergency. And what they're asking for is an MOU that we pre-decided. So I gave Mike some examples on how to question the city if they wanted to be involved with that and Source. And once we had that MOU, I could apply for the grant. Grant would cover 50% of any extra and unanticipated costs that have not been covered by the C-REP grant. So that was the correspondence I had. I haven't heard back from him, but there is a short timeline. If he does proceed with that, I have to get the application in prior to September 4th, and I'll be out of the country that last week. So I need to know fairly soon.
But what kind of costs would you imagine? Just an extension cord and a table? I mean,
Yeah,
I
and access to the building. Yeah,
I don't see much in the way of cost. In fact, I would see that being a common sense thing that would happen should we have an emergency.
well, the costs that they would reimburse would be things that were not covered by the grant. The auditing was not covered by the grant, and legal fees were not covered by the grant. So I think we're up to about $4,500 currently that were not covered by the grant. So, but there might be more in it, and if there were any more, it's not a ton of money. I do like the concept that we have thought about how we are going to be a community partner with this amazing resource we don't have.
I think there's a MOU in place. And I don't know if it's been re-upped, that this is the alternate EOC in an emergency. And that could well be power outage, an emergency or whatever,
Sure. I think you're quite right on that. I just need some documentation to prove that the board would like me to move forward on that, on applying for that grant. I haven't even looked at the details of how complicated it is. It's quite fairly simple. I'm assuming it's the Energy Trust. But that was a communication I had. It hasn't gone further. I'm not aware of that. If there's any opposition, I'd like to, or support, I'd like to know now.
I'd like to get the chief involved in looking at some of this stuff and doing the applications instead of having individuals.
The chief will do that.
Is he in
He has been actively involved with it.
Yeah.
Craig and the chief have been working in unison on it. Chief has been sending out a lot of correspondence on it and everything. He's taking the lead on it.
He hasn't seen anything reflecting that in the packet or anywhere.
Yeah, they've been sharing that information with me, and I asked that
Time
he
sensitive.
read it at the board meetings. So the board is absolutely support.
Yeah, I took some time when I was on vacation to meet with Energy Trust and also draft some emails. But I absolutely would like him to deal with it directly. Yeah, September 4th, I believe, is the deadline. So it's going to be it's prior to the next meeting.
Would don't know what we want to move forward with it now, or do you want to table this in hopes that the chief comes back more comfortable, chief's input on it? We can do that.
You said the chief.
I'm good as well.
All right, so we still have a solar project agendized. Is that item? He comes back, hopefully he'll be back in time for that, address that. Follow up on that and part of the solar project. Okay, moving on. Any other correspondence? All right, chief recruitment process.
The application period is closed at the end of the month. I believe we have 8 applicants for the position. Gordon Sletmo from SDAO will be joining us in the executive session a little later to review those applications and move it on. So I'm happy to report at this point, we're right on step with that timeline that everybody was provided.
The project, we're gonna postpone discussion on annexation of properties till the chief comes back. And solar project. Give us an update where we're at with that.
Last I saw, they were finalizing the bond verbiage. And Mike is in the process of applying for the first of the 30% down payments from Hero Energy to start filling the bank and getting parts rolling. Paying invoices.
Okay,
When do they estimate the project to be online? Do they have a
February.
date? February.
Right.
Online in February?
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty quick turn.
great. Any other questions on the solar? And we will follow up when Mike gets back. Respondents issues. And speaking of the chief, perfect timing.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Chief, where we're at right now, we're having discussions on the solar project and the correspondence that was received on the possibility of an additional grant. And wanted to get your input on that.
So I reached out to the city of Rogue River to advise them we'll probably be doing a community letter. Haven't heard back from them. I think you're leading that grant request, correct?
Yes, but I do need some type of MOU with the plan, how we're gonna go about it, and I think there's the MOU and then how we're gonna provide access to things that they wanted to know. And alternatively, Mr. Stearns brought up that if our pre-existing MOU with Source is acceptable, that may be just as good as.
So when you say MOU, you mean like for the Emergency Operations Center?
Correct.
Okay,
That's the easy one, so that might just be super fast.
It might be an IGA, but I think it exists. It's for some work.
And the other part of that will amplify is the city uses the fuel system out there.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah, anything you need me to do to amplify that, I'll let you know. But are you gonna lead the writing of it, or?
It depends. I mean, there has been some opposition to that, so it's really, I'm willing to show you the draft and have you submit it. You for that. It depends on how the board feels about that.
I feel good about it. Because it takes off my plate.
How about-
You already have it.
How about I draft it and I send it to you? Guys, give me a final approval. It's basically just a grant, but money coming to us.
You need board action to move ahead with them.
Excuse me, who's the grant funded by? Oregon Department of Energy?
It's Energy Trust, the same people who paid for
Oregon Energy
our lighting
Trust.
system 10 years ago.
They have the bottomless wallet of money.
Apparently, it's a pretty limited number of zero people, but somebody need a little assistance.
I'll make a motion that we authorize Craig to move forward with the grant application.
Second,
Roll call vote, please.
Tom Foster,
Yes.
Randy Quirk,
yes,
Joe Miller,
Yes.
Jim Stearns.
Yes.
Craig Barry.
Also, Chief Randy, make sure that you're actively involved with this process, and I know that you've been championing a lot of these, reaching out and reviews and things like that. So, thank you. All righty, with that, we'll move on to the annexation of properties.
I would like to refer you to page 26 of your board packet. So this is a list of properties that we determined are on Savage Creek that will exist in the new annexation. I have their miles by Google Maps, which we're going to have to do that by a more formal means. But this gives you an idea of the number of properties up there and the distance they are from the station. Let's see, so previously I sent a letter to Mid-Grove Fire District and requested their support to annex this area. It is in Josephine County and they do border it. They chose not to put it into their fire district. And if you go to page 27 in your board packet, you'll see their response. They completely support us annexing that property. So the next step is notification of homeowners and resolution. So which one do you do first? Our attorney recommends highly that we notify homeowners, bring them in to a public meeting and give them an opportunity to listen to us, and respond to us, and then we educate them on the path forward, and that probably will reduce friction in the future. If you look at page 28 of your board packet, page 28, 29, this is a letter that I drafted for the homeowners, and I sent it to our attorney for edits. I have those edits back, but in all of my rapid travels this morning, they did not make it into this room. So I'm going to go to my office right now. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. But you can look at this. Go ahead.
What's going to happen with the folks who didn't sign up for it? There's no time for 11.
Well, they haven't had the opportunity to not sign up for it yet. We're not there yet. But this will be voluntary in basis. We can't force them to do
No,
it.
I'm just curious. If you can run a fire, a bigger fire, it's not your problem, our problem.
Yeah, we would probably respond up there and put it out, and then we would bill them. That would be a substantial bill. And that's one of the things that we need to educate them about.
We would like to get full participation because building islands into your district is problematic because you never know who's in, who's out, who you're going to build. You know, it would be nice to get them all. What I want to ask Mike when you return to, do all these properties have structures on them, or some just land holding?
but there really jogs around on the county border, doesn't it? Joe and Jackson County.
And even the areas in Joe County, you got to go through our fire district to get to them. Mike, do all these properties have structures?
Most of them. Can't say for sure. So these are the edits the attorney recommended. I apologize for not writing that in. agree with all the edit thing the attorney said that
Our contracts.
no, oh, okay, so if you look at the fourth paragraph down with all of the red ink, it says annex properties on a voluntary basis at no cost for the annexation.
Okay.
I think that's misleading. I think they need to understand that there will be a cost. We're not gonna charge them for the annexation, but they will be paying taxes to the party.
Oh, yeah, but
I don't
it's
think
not,
that's clear.
no, that could be a little, yeah. There's no charge for the procedures to set it up, is what we would say, you know.
If you add one word. And at no cost for the annexation process.
So, my recommendation to the board is that we pick a date and time. We either handle a public meeting they normally schedule for a meeting, or we have a special meeting. If it's more appropriate. And, but first of all, I'll mail these out to like property owners and with the date and time of that.
I think it would be appropriate to have it during a regular board meeting.
Right.
Agendized items specific for this. And for that fashion.
Are you gonna get these people to a 7:30 a.m. meeting? I guess if they want to voice.
Well, the same respect is if we have the whole board show up for a meeting and nobody shows up.
Right.
So
On a different thing, those properties are all currently in ODF protection area. So those properties without structures, where we can tax house and I now 10 acres. We wouldn't be able to tax those properties if they don't have residents on.
Not sure about that, but if we can tax 10 acres, does that only apply if there's a structure on there?
I think so.
So it's
But I'm not, they've changed that.
I can answer that. I live in the property data program a lot, with inspections and verifying whether I can do an inspection or not. And looking at that, houses, properties that don't have houses do not pay fire taxes on undeveloped land.
But that doesn't mean we don't want to expand it.
Yeah, that's true. Eventually they'll probably have a house on it.
So
Plenty of undeveloped property in our district paying taxes on it.
So the annexation process is voluntary. We're gonna ask them to do it, and we have forms that they'll fill out if they do it. If they choose not to, then they don't have to. We can't force them, but there are certain things that will force them in the future, such as if they pull a building permit or if the property changes.
Will you be able to give them at this meeting some kind of an estimate of what their current tax?
I can give them an exact amount.
Yeah.
Except I don't want to do it for 20 different people.
Yeah,
But I can give them a, ballpark on how they can
yeah.
do that.
And so somebody asked, what's it gonna cost me? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty simple for them to figure out if they've got their tax statement from last year. They can look at their assessed value and come up with that by.
Talking some pretty high math there.
No problem. Okay, something.
So, my question would be, do we want to get this at the next board meeting or the following meeting? How much time do you want to give them?
Didn't I see in one of your draft letters that it mentioned November?
Yeah, but that date was, my draft letter was the intention of telling them we're going to do it.
I think.
And the attorney said, we should probably take the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
Which I agree. So once there's a 90-day requirement. That's what.
What is your recommendation?
My recommendation is that, by the time I get all the letters drafted and stuff, and now they go forward and come back. So instead of us hitting the September meeting, maybe we do the October.
In concurrence, let's move forward with the October.
And also, everybody agrees with the edits except for the one paragraph.
Any other questions on the annexation of the property?
I just make a couple of comments on it.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's been an expensive month. Next month is gonna be more expensive, mainly due to, overtime. It's been a very active fire season. We haven't had any fires in our district, however, we've had a lot of fires close around us and do contribute to those fires, with apparatus. And that hurts overtime. Also, we've done a lot of upstaffing lately, on red flag days, but also triple digit days with low humidity. It's just necessary to, keep us in the right posture for the weather that's around us. So that gets you time. We paid for the replacement of an HVAC system, cost about $14,000. So we have 6 furnace heat pump systems. So we've replaced 4 heat pumps and we've replaced 2 furnaces. So the remaining one will be going out at any time. They're 30 years old and we've budgeted. The good news is, GEMT tells us that they will be giving us $230,000. We received most of that so far. And the other good news is that we have the audited number for our revenue carry forward, and that's about $230,000 more than what we have.
Good news, thank you.
Since we're on finances, this seasonal firefighting fires, can we not budget that anymore?
We put that, we do budget it, but we put it on the salary line. You add it to the salary spreadsheet because that's what it is.
Any new business? Chief's report.
I'll make it real fast. So I've talked about tablet command. We have implemented tablet command last week. Tablet command replaces our mobile data computers. That's the computer that you see in the vehicle. And it's just much better. The mapping on it is much better. We did have maps before, but this is just a lot more user friendly. And so, for example, you can, when you arrive on scene for say IAs and you go into a technical mode, you can actually see other apparatus approaching the scene on the map. So when you're sitting there trying to figure out how you're going to make assignments, you know who's going to arrive first, who's going to arrive second. And with all that essay, it really reduces the amount of time, or the amount of talking we have to do. We used it the first time on the wood wrap fire. Our unit was up there with tablet command and there was assigned structure protection. And they was able to pull up the street and look at all the houses with their addresses and just make assignments with all that knowledge.
This, does it operate on satellite service or, I mean, the wood rat was out there in the hills and
Yeah.
I'm thinking it probably didn't have cell coverage.
The tablet itself has a cellular connection. So you do have the ability to lose it.
Okay.
You didn't lose it.
Added on the wood.
But I think the GPS part of it does come. But there also is a cell. The audit is completed and submitted. Thank you, Jenna, for all of your hard work on that. And in the next board meeting, our auditor Rick Brewster will be doing one.
He's retiring.
That's a rumor. That's been a rumor for like 3 years.
We have hard copies of the audit.
We emailed you last week.
Yeah,
the draft.
Oh,
just the draft.
No, they
Chief,
can't print those.
With the tablet man up and going out, is the new ambulance going into service?
it's in service right now, and it's on a call right now. It's on its third call this morning, so we're using it effectively.
Already.
That's all I have.
I noticed you mentioned the ultrasound instructor, RCC. Did you go through that, or that was a meeting you went to?
I met with the ultrasound instructor along with Dr. Coleman. And we determined, so we have ultrasound. We're one of the few agencies that has it. When we started our ultrasound a while back, we kind of hit a wall because we didn't have really appropriate training for pre-hospital ultrasound. Somebody did it. This guy moved into town from New Mexico and teaches at RTC, and he's an expert in the hospital. So we brought him on, and I hired him to be able to train.
Okay. We have standing orders yet, or do we need standing orders?
Yeah. Yeah, we really have to.
Yes, we do have standing orders. His training was incredibly helpful.
Okay,
He's a very good instructor to explain things at a simple level that we need to know rather than high-tech doctor type of point.
okay,
And we have specific standing orders for scanning the heart, the lungs, and carotid for certain patient conditions.
oh, fantastic. Okay.
And then
Pictures look cool.
as we become more proficient, those orders could be expanded to include looking for dissecting aortic aneurysm, maybe pregnancy-related problems, but we're doing it step by step so that we're not overwhelmed. Let's get good at a few things and then move forward if necessary.
All right, great. Yeah, my brother's an ER doctor in Vegas, so we've been talking about this, and it's really helpful.
And I've been on phone calls recently where they actually used ultrasound on the call. Unfortunately, we're all through cardiac arrest, but it enables you to, when you see what's called PEA, look at the heart and see if it actually is. And they're using it now because they have more confidence.
Great.
Moving on to monthly reports.
But, what kind of search and rescue, I mean,
I didn't personally go through.
okay,
That was one of the other shifts. I believe that was a rope rescue class that a few of the guys had partnered up with Will Metro so that they get their tech rescue certification.
Okay.
So we got invited to be part of that rope rescue class, which does not happen.
so we can do some high angle stuff now?
You have to have a task book, I believe. So I think that's one more step in the process.
Okay.
But that would be the
goal. That's the goal.
I would say it was an operations class. So now we can. Or we can do like a 3-to-1 5.
Group that, the chief's report, the captain's reports.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Moving on to public comment. Righty.
I had a question for Grace. Did you, did the city ever meet with Jackson County Emergency Services and doing tabletop exercise, or is that in process?
We are waiting until after fire season
Okay.
because Delaney is very busy at this time.
Uh-huh.
So we're looking more at like November, maybe December, when it has a little more downtime and Delaney's a little more available.
Good.
And at that time, we'll get together and start putting something together and invite different agencies so we can all work together and know what part.
Fantastic. I'm sure we're gonna get an invite for that. So what we're discussing is they actually do tabletop exercise for scenarios such as wildfires, anything on the city.
All right, any items that came up after the agenda was posted? We're gonna go ahead and move into executive session now. I'd like to thank everybody for their participation this morning, and we'll take a quick little break.